So we're at the city of Rhyolite, Nevada. We're at the train station. The last train left the station in 1914, so we're late to catch the train, but it's been used for several other things through the years. It was a casino for a time, and it's also been a set for movies. I'm going to have Trevor tell us the facts about Rhyolite, Nevada.
I don't know about facts, but I'll tell you what little I know about the town. It was on our list when we went on this trip because it's one of the better known ghost towns in the West, and it was close to Death Valley. It's not in the park, but it's close. And the town really came to life between 1904 and 1905 when a couple of prospectors discovered a hill full of quartz. And the guys' names was Frank Shorty Harris and Ernest Ed Cross. And it really started the Bullfrog mining district. And the reason it's called the Bullfrog mining district is because the quartz that they pulled out had a greenish tint to it and had big chunks of yellow in it, which was the gold. But it resembled the back of a bullfrog. And so within a really short time of them discovering this quartz deposit vein, over 2,000 claims were filed within a 30-mile radius of where Rhyolite stands today. And it brought people from all over the West with the draw of quick gold. So the town sprung up really fast. And the ore was really rich. They figured that in one day they could bring in 16,000 tons, or $16,000 per ton on this ore, which translates to like $450,000 per ton in today's dollars. So it was extremely rich. And so the town just sprung up really fast. And they had everything. The town it had 50 saloons, 35 gambling tables, 19 lodging houses, and 16 restaurants, barbers, a public bathhouse, a newspaper, and eventually 3 railroad spurs that came into town. And they had a lot of social events. They had basketball games, tennis, a symphony. They had Sunday school picnics on Sundays. It had a lot of social activities, and nowadays you don't see in the pictures. You just don't see a lot of what's left in the town. When you're digging around and looking around in the dirt, you see a lot of foundations and that. A part of that was in the earthquake in San Francisco, which burned a lot of San Francisco. It disrupted trade and commerce tremendously, and it affected this town as well. The railroads eventually slowed down. The stock market crashed, caused a recession. And this town suffered from that, and so they couldn't make it. Eventually the mine closed down. Electricity was shut off in 1914, and people just moved out. And wood was such a hot commodity in these areas, and this is what we're coming past right here is the bank. It cost over $90,000 to build, and that was back in 1906 or so, and it's just incredible what they did. But the wood was such a hot commodity that a lot of the buildings, the wood was stripped and moved to other towns, and if they couldn't take the wood off or whatever to move it to another town, they took the whole building. And so that's why there's a lot of foundations and there's not a lot of debris around the foundations, because they took the whole building and they moved it to other settlements. Now this bottle house was built by a prospector named Kelly, and he built it with over 50,000 liquor bottles. Put this house together, and he lived there for several years, and then it kind of fell into disrepair. And in 1925 it was restored by Paramount Pictures for a Western movie, and the condition it's in now is from the restoration that was done in 1925. It was really kind of neat to see all these old bottles and how they plastered them in. It's a pretty thick wall when you think about how long a bottle is. So it probably did a pretty good job of keeping the house cool during the heat of the day. Anyway, it was a neat old town. The wind sure blew a lot.
It's very windy and cold the day we were there. And then just outside of the town, there is it called the Gold Well outdoor art museum.
Yeah, the art museum.
Yeah, there'll be a few clips of it coming up, and it was some really different artwork. And then they have a small visitor center you can go in, and while we were in there, the gentleman that was working there played a flute for us, and so we got to listen to that while we looked at the pictures. That was our trip to Rhyolite. If you enjoy these videos and farming videos, give us a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And as always, until next time, eat more potatoes, wear wool, and ask for USA lamb and beef at your local grocery store.